Closed captioning is brought to you by Aaron Saxon Associates.
Right now at 5, Kansas lawmakers are trying to add more protections to shield agriculture workers from animal rights activists.
And it's breezy and dry for right now, but more rain is on the way. We'll take a look at that forecast, get you out the door, coming up.
Plus, Carl Junction students will soon have a new resource to help gain real-world experience in agriculture.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning, 4 states, and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 5 a.m. I'm Elise Noe.
I'm Chris Warner. So this was the weekend. Boy, it went by kind of fast.
It did. It really did. And it was a little chilly out there. So
it was. Yesterday wasn't too bad, though.
It was pretty windy.
It was very windy yesterday. We had wind advisories out west, high wind warnings. We were just talking before the show started. Northwest Kansas, they have blizzard warnings and winter weather advisories in place now. But on top of those, yesterday, they also had tornado warnings and severe thunderstorm warnings out there, all associated with the same system that brought us some rain overnight, and it's not quite done with us yet. Let's take a quick look outside. There's a lot of weather to cover today. This is our camera on top of the Cornell Complex, downtown Joplin. It is mostly cloudy, and it is quite breezy out there as well. MoDOT camera, 32nd in range line, looking pretty good. Roads are still a little bit damp from the overnight rains that we had. Skywatch Storm Tracker showing the bulk of the heavy rain off to our south and east. However, we are expecting some back building to take place with these showers. It'll probably cut off about the 69 corridor, but we could see some additional showers throughout the morning and into the early afternoon. Then we'll get a brief pause, and then we've got another round of showers and thunderstorms as we head into the evening. We're going to get into all of that in detail with the full forecast. That's coming up a little later. To get you out the door, though, it is 55 in Joplin, 53 in Pittsburgh right now. There's that cold front. So see, it hasn't actually made it here yet, and that's why we're not quite done with the rain and the wind just yet. Temperatures, for the most part, right in the 50s, low, mid, and upper 50s, so a fairly decent spread. Kids getting on the bus, a few of us may still have a few showers going on out there, otherwise cloudy, and I did not save this temperature. It's going to be windier than that, though. Out of the south with gusts to 35, 57 when that bus picks them up. I did save that one. Okay, south at 15 to 25 this afternoon. Still mostly cloudy, some occasional showers, 62. We'll still see those gusts upwards of 35. Breezy conditions continue into the mid-afternoon. Then the winds will let up just a bit. They won't be as gusty, but there'll still be some gusts out there up to 20. And then by this evening, thunderstorm chances return to the area as the front itself starts to make its way through, and we're looking at highs ahead of that front into the low to mid 60s out there. We're going to have a complete look at your forecast and break down these thunderstorm chances and just how cold it gets behind this front in the full forecast in a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, thanks, Chris. Voters in Missouri were able to cast their ballot Saturday for the Democratic presidential primary. This primary election nominates a Democratic presidential nominee. It was held after Missouri representatives failed to implement the presidential preference primary voters may be used to. Organizers say they hope voters still participate despite the change.
It's to protect and promote our democracy. Yes, it's very important that everyone get out and vote in every election. This election, and then we have a primary in August. It's very important to vote.
Organizers say official numbers from Saturday's election may not be announced until later this week. Saturday's ballots are being transported to St. Louis, where they are being counted. The state of Missouri is exceeding the federal limit of how long it takes to review Medicaid applications. February was the third straight month exceeding the limit. The median time it took Missouri Social Services Department to process Medicaid applications for low-income Missourians in February was 77 days. That means half of the applications proceeded in February had been pending for at least 2.5 months. According to federal law, those applications need to be processed in 45 days. Kansas lawmakers are trying to add more protection to shield agriculture workers from animal rights activists. A bill in the House would make it illegal to enter an animal facility or field crop production area without permission of the owner. or to knowingly make false statements on an employment application to gain access to those places. This push stems from incidents of activists attempting to secretly film suspected abuse of animals. The new bill would also clear up constitutional concerns raised by a federal court about Kansas's current protections for the ag industry. The Kansas legislature is unlikely to pass a Medicaid expansion this term as the Republican-led House halted a bill with strong support from residents. The House discussed the bill for one day after 900 people provided testimony on dozens of rallies were held statewide in support of it. The House committee that heard the bill voted to halt it by a vote of 12-5, falling along party lines. Governor Laura Kelly, who has spent months rallying across the state for expansion, called the move disappointing. If you're ever on the go and want to still be able to watch our newscast live, just download the KOAM Plus app. It's available free of charge in the App Store of your choice. Just search for KOAM Plus. Carl Junction students will soon have a new resource to help gain real-world experience in agriculture. KOAM Samantha Walker has more on how a new farm will benefit students.
Carl Junction High School students will soon have a new facility to help them grow. The school's Future Farmers of America chapter welcomed the public to come see the new Asbel Family Research Center, which will be the Carl Junction School Farm.
Be able to do more and more and more for our ag students. Agriculture is the biggest industry in our country, and to get kids excited about that in high school and to have these opportunities for them to experience VOAG, just hands-on, is amazing for us.
The farm was made possible from donations from the Roper and Asbel families. Organizers say the center will allow students to gain first-hand experience in the world of agriculture.
The goal is to be able to take enhancements so that we're teaching in the classroom in agriculture and be able to apply them to a real world setting. So being able to be hands-on with an animal and be able to feed that animal and having those responsibilities.
For students, it's an opportunity to continue following their passion.
It makes me so excited to learn and teach other people about the future generations and how to help them. That's what I'm about. So this farm will help many people. It'll help people years after me. It'll have it grow and offer more learning opportunities.
And current FFA students say it's great knowing this resource will be here for future generations.
And I feel like as many farmers as we can get, it's going to help out a lot. Even if you're not a farmer, there's something for you to do in the agriculture industry overall.
The school celebrated the construction of the farm with a ribbon-cutting ceremony open to the public. The ceremony features a petting zoo where people could get up and close with the animals.
Show them what the future of agriculture can do and what it is, and just grow either the agricultural industry or grow the community knowledge about the agricultural industry.
Reporting in Carl Junction, Samantha Walker, KOAM News.
An upcoming bond issue for Carl Junction schools would help further fund the research farm. Organizers say there are already plans to add a lab facility and a classroom. And that's a look at this morning's top stories and weather in our first 7 minutes, coming up on the KOAM Morning News. The Gorillas baseball team has a chance to win their 20th game of the year. We'll have the details. Plus, pink peach tree blossoms are everywhere you look in regions of northern Greece right now. And rain chances stick around for tonight. We'll have what to expect with Chris Warner in the Skywatch Weather Center. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back.
Bad boy mowers are 7th on KOAM TV, locally sponsored by Downstream Casino Resort.
Well, the Pitt State baseball team came into this past weekend losing 3 of their last 4 games. On Sunday, the Gorillas have a chance to win their 20th game of the year, plus win a series over a ranked team. We're going to head out to Ochelani Field for the series finale between Pitt State and Central Oklahoma. In the first inning, Pitt State leading 1-0. Cade Clemens is going to single to left field. A run scores, and the Gorillas lead 2-0. So we jump ahead to the 4th inning. Check out this play. Cade Clemens showing off his defense with the flip to second, then the throw to first is in time for the double play. A fancy 6-4-3 gets you out of that inning. So we go to the bottom of the fourth. Pitt State leading 2-1. Dylan Kurahase Choi Fu narrowly misses a grand slam as the ball bounces off the wall. Connor Allen dives home safe at home plate, and it's a bases clearing double for Choi Fu. Next batter to the plate. I'll make a mistake to this guy. Nixon Brannon hits a laser beam off the scoreboard for a 2-run home run, and he touches them all. Pitt State goes on to rule Central Oklahoma. Guerrillas win the game 18-4. Out in Joplin, Missouri Southern looks to take the series against Washburn. We're going to pick things up in the 6th inning. Game is tied 7-7. Henry Kuziak hits a ball up the middle. Drew Townsend scores. Kuziak leads the conference in RBIs for a reason. Lions take an 8-7 lead. Next batter, Will Doherty. Kiss this baseball goodbye. That ball way out of here. It's a 2-run blast, and Missouri Southern takes a 10-7 lead. So we're going to go to the bottom of the 7th. Bats continue to stay hot for the Lions. Garrett Rice squares this one up, and see you later. It is his 3rd home run of the day. Southern picks up another run, leading 11-7. So we head to the 9th. Southern leads 11-8. Game-tying run is at the plate for Washburn, and it is hit high and deep. This could tie the game, but Tragan Parker makes the catch. A sigh of relief. Missouri Southern hangs on for the win. Lions beat Washburn 11-8. The high school basketball season ended about a couple of weeks ago in southeast Kansas. However, the website Sports in Kansas gave out their postseason awards to a local player and coach. St. Mary's Colgan's Lily Brown is named the Sports in Kansas 2A Girls Basketball Player of the Year. Brown averaged a double-double this season by scoring 23 points per game and 10 rebounds per game. Brown scored over 1,700 points in her Colgan High School career, but she plans to continue her athletic career at Pitt State with the track and field team. Meanwhile, her head coach, Abby Farabi, was named the Sports in Kansas 2A Girls Coach of the Year. She's done nothing but win games for Colgan in the last 3 seasons. Farabi is undefeated in the regular season as head coach, going 71-3 in that time frame. Farabi led the Panthers to another historic season, finishing at 3rd place this year at state. Well, don't look now, but MLB opening day begins this Thursday as the St. Louis Cardinals prepare to open the season against the Los Angeles Dodgers. But first, St. Louis finishes their final Florida spring training game. Cardinals versus the Astros in the 1st inning. Starting pitcher Hunter Brown gets off to a fast start, and Brendan Donovan goes down swinging. Next batter, Paul Goldschmidt, swings and misses off the speed. Then Brown finishes the side as he gets Nolan Gorman to chase. That's a 1-2-3 inning. In the 4th, John Singleton drives one into the gap as 2 runs score. Houston takes over the rest of the way in this one. The Astros beat the Cardinals 9-4. St. Louis will play the Cubs on Monday in Arizona. In NCAA women's college basketball, the Kansas State Wildcats are hosting the Colorado Buffaloes in the Manhattan Regional. It was a rough second half for K-State, believe me, on Sunday as Colorado defeats the Wildcats 63-50. K-State's season comes to an end, and the Buffaloes move on to the Sweet 16. Well, still to come, we're going to see why 2 insulin products manufactured by Eli Lilly will temporarily be in short supply. Plus, we'll have another look at that forecast and some cooler weather on the way when the KOAM Morning News returns.
Don't miss our next viewing of Welcome Home, the 4 States' premier television show for home improvement. You'll hear from 7
special buy one get one free offer goes away.
Neosho Arts Council free concert in the park, April 16th.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. 5:18 coming up now on 5:19 on this Monday morning. And it is windy out there. Take a look at our camera on the Cornell Complex. It's shaking in the wind. The flags on City Hall really blowing. Believe it or not, at least At this time, we do not have any wind advisories or anything in effect. That doesn't mean it's not still going to be breezy through the first portion of our Monday out there. MoDOT camera 32nd in range line. Even it is rocking back and forth a bit in the breeze out there. KDOT camera south of Pittsburgh looking pretty good. Again, roadways still a bit damp from the overnight rain showers that we had, but nothing too crazy out there. So here's what we're looking at. The bulk of the heavier rain now off to our south and east, but take a look to the southeast of Joplin. We've got a few extra showers out there. And that's what we're expecting. We're expecting a little bit of redevelopment of shower activity right about through this zone along and then maybe immediately north of the I-44 corridor and could go just as far west as maybe say the 69 corridor out there. So we could see a few more showers as we go through the morning hours. Then we head into this afternoon, or more so this evening, and we do have a chance of some thunderstorms, and some of those could be strong, low-grade severe, with, as you can see here, hail and wind being the primary concern with these storms. The greater severe threat is going to stay off to our south, but we could have a couple of stronger storms out there. So again, future track showing where, again, we could have a few showers right through here, and it's trying to show maybe a few more in southeast Kansas, but I think most of any redevelopment of shower activity is going to be along into the east of the 69 corridor. Then, this is why our severe threat is relatively low. We're going to get this window this afternoon where we're going to have some brief clearing. It's going to be just enough clearing that we're going to see behind that, with the front rolling through, showers and thunderstorms redeveloping by about 4 or 5 o'clock this evening across parts of southeast Kansas. This is where that risk for some stronger storms comes in, and this line of storms will roll off to the east and will move through rather quickly. Once it does so, take a look at the winds now shifting back behind this initially out of the west. Those temperatures begin to fall. Now I do see, and I know you see, there's some light snow. A light snow shower or two will be possible in our far northern counties overnight, but it shouldn't add up to much of anything. What does add up, though, is those temperatures falling back into the 30s tonight. We'll have some brief clearing here and there, but most of our Tuesday is going to be cloudy. We won't start to see more sunshine again until we get into our Wednesday. And again, even though we don't at this time have any wind advisories or anything like that out there, through most of our day, we're looking at pretty gusty winds again out of the south, pushing that 30, 35 mile an hour range out there. And it'll be a bit breezy overnight and into the first part of our Tuesday as well before those winds will begin to calm down and finally give us a little bit of a break. All right, in Joplin right now, it is cloudy, 55, south-southeast breeze at 20, gusting upwards of 32 miles an hour out there. There's that front. You can see that temperature difference out to the west. Temperatures for us, though, in the 50s, but we've got a good spread. We're in the low to mid 50s for some, mid to upper 50s as you get a little further to the south. We're have some scattered showers. It'll be breezy and cloudy through the morning. Temperatures just kind of hovering with those clouds out there. We'll eventually make about 58 by 11 o'clock this morning. And then ahead of that front, again, temperatures today right around the low to mid 60s out there, maybe a couple of upper 60s depending on how much sunshine you get when we see that brief clearing. And then we'll see those thunderstorm chances return again tonight, or at least into the evening hours. That clears out. We'll have some partly cloudy skies initially, and we'll go back to being mostly cloudy and cold overnight tonight. Down the road, only 47 tomorrow, so a chilly day out there, and with those early morning winds, some pretty cold wind chills. But we will warm up, and we'll do so rather quickly heading into the weekend, back up near 80 by Sunday before we see another system with some additional showers, maybe a couple of thunderstorms cooling us back down by the beginning of next week. Let's check your forecast. We'll be back with more right after this.
Buy with 2.9% when you reboot your ride at Roper Honda. If you bought with hot
deals for the best used cars are only at Roper Honda.
Topping Health Watch this morning, 2 insulin products manufactured by Eli Lilly will temporarily be short supply. And the company said 10 millimeters vials of Humalog and the insulin Lispro injection will be limited at wholesalers and some pharmacies until the beginning of April. Eli Lilly cited a brief delay in manufacturing as the reason for the shortage and said it will ship the medication as soon as possible. The medications are still available in pre-filled pen versions. If you have trouble getting your prescription filled, the company said you should check other pharmacies or contact your healthcare provider to discuss other treatment options. According to the American Diabetes Association, more than 8 million people in the U.S. rely on insulin to survive. Well, for the first time ever, doctors say they've successfully completed the transplant of a genetically modified pig kidney into a living person. That person is a 62-year-old man who had been diagnosed with end-stage kidney disease. Andy Gaither has more on the impact this may have on the future of treating human disease.
Following years and years of study, decades of study, months of planning, and hours of surgery, hope became a reality for our patient, Rick Slayman.
It's a world first. Doctors from Massachusetts General Hospital say a 62-year-old man in the final permanent stage of chronic kidney disease successfully received a transplant of a genetically modified pig kidney.
I'm pleased to report that Mr. Slayman is feeling well and recovering nicely.
This could be the future of transplants, allowing for viable and readily available organs to go to patients in desperate need. Researchers first transplanted genetically modified kidneys into primates. One survived up to 2 years, says the surgeon who performed this latest operation.
The outcomes in humans are expected to be more favorable because those gene edits were designed for humans rather than non-human primates.
Researchers say pig organs have a similar structure to human organs. The animals come in many sizes, they're easily bred, and have large litters.
By the end of this day, 17 Americans and more than double that number of patients around the world will die waiting for a transplant because there are just not enough donor organs to go around.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
This is the third such xenotransplant of a pig organ into a living human. The first two transplants were hearts transplanted into living patients that had run out of their transplant options. Those organs were transplanted under special rules that permit compassionate use of experimental therapies for patients in especially dire situations. Both patients died weeks after receiving their organs. And that's a look at some of today's top health stories. You're watching the KOAM Morning News.
And we've got ourselves a cool and breezy start to the day. More showers possible and some thunderstorms this evening. We'll have another look at your forecast when the KOAM Morning News returns.
Get the Summit for only $332.49, plus 5 years no interest and free shipping. Denver Mattress, the easiest way to get the right mattress.
Right now at 5:30, Wyandotte Nation gives back to the community with a local food distribution.
And we've got cloudy skies, a few showers, and it is breezy out there this morning. We'll take a look at that forecast to get you out the door coming up.
Plus, Central Christian Center in Joplin this Sunday got into the Easter spirit with an egg hunt.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning, 4 states, and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 5:31. I'm Elise Noe.
And I'm Chris Warner. It is breezy outside. Yes. You may have noticed that when coming in this morning.
Hair was going all over the place.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I don't have that problem, but I believe you. And our producer Tennyson said, that's the biggest thing that he experienced on his way in this morning as well was just the wind. That was the biggest challenge. Heading south here to the station because it's been a southerly breeze out there, which has made it a little bit warmer, but there's a cold front out there, and it's really going to change things here in the next 24 hours, at least briefly anyway, but it is going to live up to its name. For right now, though, it is breezy, it is cloudy, it is cool. MoDOT camera at 32nd and Range Line showing us some still wet spots on the roadways from our overnight rain, and we're expecting a few more showers here and there as we head through the morning hours. Skywatch Storm Tracker, so as expected. So first, the bulk of the heavy rain for now off to our south and east, but if you take a look, we're starting to see a few more of those showers redevelop across the area, and that's the expectation, is showers roughly in this zone and points to the east are expected to kind of redevelop. Now, we're not expecting much out of this, but a few rain showers will be possible roughly in this zone here, right along and immediately north of the I-44 corridor. In Joplin right now, it is 55 degrees. Pittsburgh sitting at 54, and temperatures, there's that cold front, by the way out there to our northwest. That's what's going to trigger some thunderstorm chances for us as we head into the evening. It's also, of course, what's going to bring us the cooler weather. For now, we're all sitting in the 50s out there, so not a bad start to the morning temperature-wise, but with that breeze, these temperatures in the 50s don't really matter because it feels considerably colder than that. We're sitting at we're looking at 57 rather when the kids get on the bus this morning. A few showers out there for some of us, otherwise cloudy, breezy, south winds 20 to 25, gusts to 35. Maintaining those 35-mile-an-hour gusts by this afternoon. Cloudy, maybe a few isolated showers out there, and sitting about 62 when the bus brings those kids back home. We're looking at highs right about 65 today. Breezy through the first portion of our day, and the winds ease up just a bit. And then we'll have that cold front come through this evening and bring some thunderstorm chances for us, and some of those could be on the strong to low-grade severe side with some hail and wind as the primary concern. We're going to look at all of that in detail and just how cold it's going to get behind this front in the full forecast in a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, thanks, Chris. We'll see you soon. Well, on Saturday, Wyandotte Nation provided meals to the community during a local food distribution. The food donated was free to the first 350 families. It included breads, dairy, fruits, protein, and vegetables. Organizers say this event is just one way they can give back to the community.
The price of groceries have skyrocketed, and food has become a real issue, especially in a small rural community like Wyandotte in this area. And so we just figure it's one way that we can do our part to help meet the need, to make sure that people have food in this area.
Saturday's event had more than 20 Wyandotte Nation volunteers. Southwest Missouri Bank Saturday hosted a community breakfast fundraiser for area veterans. Proceeds from the benefit go to the sponsorship of a service dog for a disabled veteran through Heartland Canines. Saturday, we asked a local veteran how his service dog is able to help him.
I can tell you right off the top of my head, Riley's helped me cut down on about 90% of my medication. She encourages me just as much as I encourage her to get back into public, to feel more comfortable and confident in different situations, and that's life-changing.
The breakfast included all-you-can-eat biscuits and gravy and pancakes. KCU students in Joplin Saturday had the chance to participate in a mass casualty simulation. The purpose of the event was to learn and practice vital skills that will help them to prepare for real-world events. First-year students acted as the victims, while the second-year students acted as the EMTs.
KCU students are very lucky that we have this event every year because this is very critical. Things can happen at any time, and to be able to be ready and be able to simulate these disasters and be able to learn how to deal with it, I think it's very vital, and we're going to go out there and shine.
Saturday's simulation began at 9 a.m. and wrapped up around 11. Central Christian Center in Joplin Sunday got into the Easter spirit with an egg hunt. Attendees were able to hunt for more than 600 eggs, including 60 gold eggs. The event also included a bounce house and face painting for the kiddos. Organizers say the egg hunt is a good way for families to create memories together.
Every kid loves that sugar rush and enjoys a lot of Easter candy, and so we want to facilitate that and create memories for the kids, especially if their parents don't have an opportunity to take them to another one. They get to have an Easter egg hunt while their parents enjoy service in our main auditorium.
For a list of Easter egg hunts in your community, head on over to our website. That's KOAMnewsnow.com. That's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. The Hindu community celebrates the Festival of Colors known as Holi on Sunday. Plus, the Israel Defense Forces releases video that allegedly shows strikes on Hamas military compounds in Gaza. We'll have the latest. You're watching the KOAM Morning News.
KOAM TV is sponsored by Aaron Sachs & Associates, proud partner of the St. Louis Cardinals.
Well, topping World Watch, pink peach tree blossoms are everywhere you look in the Emathia region of northern Greece right now. Officials in Varia, the country's second largest city, say the area's spring celebration gets bigger with each passing year. The majority of farmers in the area grow peaches. The fruit is being cultivated on more than 420,000 acres of land. Tourism officials say the area celebrates spring in the best way possible as the peach trees come back to life. The beauty of the region at this time of the year has long promoted local authorities to use the peach blossom season to attract tourists. The Hindu community in Karachi, Pakistan celebrates the Festival of Colors known as Holi on Sunday. The festival revolves around the legend of the Hindu god Krishna, who sprayed his consort Radha and her friends with red, yellow, orange, and green colors. Celebrants smeared colored powder and sprinkled colored water on each other while dancing. People also exchanged sweets as part of the celebration. Holi marks the beginning of spring, and it's widely celebrated in India, Nepal, and other countries with large Indian populations. Excuse me again. Thousands of Christians took part in a ceremony to mark Palm Sunday at Jerusalem's Mount of Olives. The ritual comes as a difficult time as the region deals with the conflict between Israel and Hamas. Worshippers carried palm fronds and marched from the top of the mount to the old city of Jerusalem. Palm Sunday commemorates Jesus' entry into Jerusalem, and it's the start of Holy Week, a solemn time that leads up to the joyous holiday Easter Sunday. The Israel Defense Forces released a video Sunday that allegedly shows strikes on Hamas military compounds in Gaza. Fighter jets hit more than 60 targets in northern and central Gaza strips, according to the IDF. They targeted a tunnel, a military compound where terrorists operated, and military infrastructure. Since the start of the war, over 32,000 Palestinians and more than 1,000 Israelis have died. Around 74,000 Palestinians and nearly 9,000 Israelis have been injured. The outpouring of support continues last weekend for Kate Middleton, the Princess of Wales. The news that she is battling a cancer quieting rumors about her whereabouts, but saddening the British people. Correspondent Stephanie Bennett has more.
The news of Kate Middleton's cancer diagnosis continues to make the front page of every newspaper here in the UK. The Mail saying that Kate was very touched from everyone's outpouring of support and love. And also you have the Sunday Times, where the hospital heart-to-hearts brought her and the King closer during both of their treatments. Of course, the King has also been diagnosed with cancer. We do not know the details of where or what stage his or Kate's cancers are at. Local outlets are reporting that if his health allows, King Charles is hoping to attend Easter Sunday church service next week with his wife, Queen Camilla, and a reduced royal turnout at St. George's Chapel in Windsor. However, Kate, Prince William, and their children will not be in attendance. Reports say she will be spending quality time with her family during those Easter holidays. Now, in January, she underwent a successful abdominal surgery, and originally Kensington Palace said she would return to public duties after Easter, but with the updated cancer diagnosis, that is likely to be delayed. Kate revealed in her video posted Friday on X that she is undergoing chemotherapy and is in the early stages of her treatment. According to a Kensington Palace spokesman, the Prince and Princess of Wales say they are enormously touched by the kind messages and that they were very grateful that the public understood their request for privacy.
Best wishes, and hopefully she's well again soon. I mean, obviously she's got 3 young children there, hasn't she? And that's got to come first, and her health, those things have got to come first rather than the countries.
For now, it is likely that we will not be hearing from the Princess of Wales for a while, as this video was a way to quiet down the rumors and put everything to rest.
And that's a look at some of your biggest headlines from around the world. We'll be right back.
Home Outlet is your home store.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. It is 5:46 now on this Monday morning, and we've got breezy conditions. Got a look from our camera on the Cornell Complex in downtown Joplin. It's cloudy. Roads are still a little bit on the wet side from the overnight rains, and it is quite breezy. MoDOT camera 32nd and range line looking pretty good so far, but it is swaying a bit in those strong southerly winds. And the KDOT camera just south of Pittsburgh, again, some wet roadways out there from the showers that we had overnight. And we're going to see more of those as we go through today. Skywatch Storm Tracker. Heavier rain off to our south and east, still down into Berry County out there. However, as you see, a few more showers trying to develop right in that zone we were talking about, along and immediately north of I-44. And we're expecting a few more of these showers as we go through the day. And so this zone here could see some shower activity through most of our Monday before we have a brief pause ahead of some thunderstorm chances this evening. And some of those thunderstorms could be strong to low-grade severe, with some hail and wind being the primary concern out there in the areas highlighted in that brown color there. So we'll keep an eye on these storms for you. And if we see them, it's going to be roughly between about, say, 4 and 9 this evening. So future track showers in this zone here, also trying to paint some into southeast Kansas, but I do believe this is going to be our primary area of focus as we go through the morning and early afternoon hours. Those showers will begin to clear out, and it's this window here where we get some sunshine, where some of you could be a little warmer than your neighbors. That's going to be our opportunity for destabilization. Now, it's a brief window. That's why we're not expecting any kind of significant severe event, but it'll be just enough to trigger some thunderstorms, and again, some of those could be on the strong side. So here we are at 5. We start to see a line of thunderstorms develop out there, and it will begin to push off to the east. By 8, 9 o'clock, it is rolling out of here. And yeah, that is the possibility of a few isolated snow showers in our far northern counties overnight tonight. Shouldn't add up to anything, but just be aware if you see a flurry or two. This is a pretty potent cold front. As you can see, our temperatures falling back into the 30s, staying breezy out there. We're going to spend most of our Tuesday cloudy, breezy, and cool. Take a look at these temperatures at noon, upper 30s and low 40s out there, so a pretty chilly day. For today, we don't have any wind advisories at this point. They're off to our east, off to our west. They've got blizzard warnings and winter weather advisories. And here in the middle, we'll have those south winds still gusting occasionally upwards of 35, maybe 40 miles an hour in some cases. And then by the evening, they'll die down a bit. Overnight, they'll pick back up again, and we'll spend the first part of our Tuesday breezy, and then those winds will die down and give us a little bit of a break out there. We're sitting at 55 in Joplin right now, south-southeast breeze at 20, gusting to 32. Here's a clear picture of that cold front off to our north and west. But for us right now ahead of that front, we're breezy and mild into the 50s out there. We get our morning started hovering in the 50s, cloudy. Some of us, again, some isolated to scattered showers. We'll be about 58 by 11, still quite breezy out there. And again, won't be until the afternoon we get a brief pause in those winds. A few showers out there again through the first part of our afternoon. About 65 for our highs ahead of that front. Then we'll see those thunderstorms this evening along the front. Behind it, we'll cool back, and we're going to get chilly tonight, falling back into the 30s under mostly cloudy skies. Only into the upper 40s again tomorrow for our highs. Another night in the 30s, a few 30s out there. And as we head into the weekend and the actual weekend, so the end of the week and into the weekend, we warm back up, pushing 80 by this coming Sunday. And we have another system Monday. It's going to bring us some showers, maybe a couple of thunderstorms. Also brings us, again, much colder weather out there as we kick off the next work week. That's Check Your Forecast. We're back with more right after this.
Get ready to enjoy the final year of the Joplin Memorial Run. Sign up today.
Window is now open for funds from Hero Fund USA. Visit KOAMnewsnow.com/HeroFund for the application and guidelines.
Well, thousands of locals and tourists turned out in Washington to see the cherry blossoms, which are now in full bloom. Liana Golden reports on this weekend's festival.
From the stage of the Warner Theater,
they're beautiful. They're beautiful.
to the walls of the tidal basin.
This is the peak.
The National Cherry Blossom Festival is in full swing, and people, where are you guys coming from?
They're from Virginia, I'm from Chicago.
Are coming from near and far to experience it.
We're locals, we live here. We're locals, we live around here. We're from the Kansas City area.
Today's weather maybe not as ideal to see the beauty of the blossoms.
I mean, it's pretty beautiful, but it's just, I can't feel my face. Definitely bundle up. Make sure you have gloves. I know my kids have been worried about their hands. Look at the hat, and this feels like December. Well, that's why we wear rain boots.
But as said by our very own Victoria Sanchez, the MC at tonight's opening ceremonies,
there's just something about cherry blossoms, right?
They have the power to bring people together in a way unlike any other.
Hey, what you got there?
Like these two, a local artist painting the petals as they fall onto his canvas.
It's just a natural part of the cherry blossom cycle.
And a young tourist, taking some of the view with her for later.
Who knows if they'll be here next weekend.
So advice to come out and experience peak bloom as this cold, cloudy day comes to an end.
Insider tip, it's okay to come if there's an overcast.
Don't tell everyone that.
Come at sunrise or sunset. Might be annoying waking up, but it's so worth it.
The National Cherry Blossom Festival ends on April 14th. The Park Service will then start removing nearly 160 cherry trees around the capital to help repair the city's deteriorating seawalls. The $113 million three-year project is expected to begin in late spring. We'll be right back.
The new $1.99 Sonic Crispy Tender Wraps are here for
learningalliance.org/eclipse and join in the activities.
Well, as Paris gears up to host the Summer Olympics, another competition is held on the city's streets on Sunday. A tradition dating back to 1914 was brought back to life. Waiters raced each other through the streets while carrying a plate with a croissant, a cup of coffee, and a glass of water. They moved as fast as they could, considering what they were carrying, through a course that's 1.2 miles. The race was open to workers at all of the city's bistros, which are considered an essential part of life in Paris. Paris hopes the Summer Olympics will have a large economic impact on its local businesses. And nobody won Saturday night's Powerball drawing. That means the jackpot is now up to $800 million. While there was not a jackpot winner, at least 5 people won $1 million. The next Powerball drawing will be tonight. Nobody won the Mega Millions drawing on Friday either. That jackpot is up to more than $1 billion.
$1 billion. Yeah, I can't do Dr. Evil, but he can, and you know what we're talking about. We're also talking about rain, scattered showers for some of us, mainly along and east of the 69 corridor through the first portion of our day. Breezy, 58, those south winds gusting upwards of 35, maybe even 40 in some cases. Highs around 65 degrees, all of this ahead of a cold front that's going to come through this evening. That's going to trigger some thunderstorms along that front, and they're going to roll through between, say, about 5 and 9 tonight, or well, this evening, tonight, however, whatever your perspective is, but some of those could be on the strong side with some hail and gusty winds as the primary concern. So of course we'll keep an eye on that for you. Winds will shift out of the west behind that front, and then we're going to get cold tonight, mostly cloudy, still a bit breezy, and right around 30 for the low. Only into the upper 40s tomorrow. A chilly day. We're going to spend most of the day cloudy and breezy in the first half, and we're going to start to warm up toward the end of the week and into the weekend. Take a look at Sunday, pushing near 80, 78 Monday. Another system, more showers, possibly a thunderstorm or two, will also make us much cooler again by Tuesday and Wednesday. That's checking your forecast. We're back with more right after this.
Spend your tax return wisely and invest in new flooring and furniture at Derailed Commodity.